Okay, so again, tell me about who brought cake to the driver's station.
The Engine Nerds Alliance. They did that.
Strike zone. It was strike zone.
I farted.
Welcome, Canadians, fellow other countrymen. Thank you for joining.
Today we have a special presentation for you, brought to you by
Jon Kentfield. Hi, Jon. Okay,
Happy birthday.
It's his birthday?
No,
Oh.
my birthday's in August.
Happy.
I knew that.
No, you didn't. There's
Jon,
a reason Rainbow Rumble's the weekend.
we've got
it is.
Jon
August
Kentfield.
27th.
No,
August 7th.
no,
3rd.
no. Close.
We've got Jon today. Jon is a alumni of the program, longtime mentor, longtime volunteer with FIRST and its other sister programs as well. VEX, FTC, FLL, you name it. I don't think there's anything
The whole shebang.
Jon hasn't been a part of. Thank you for coming, Jon.
Yeah, thank you. This will be fun or something.
That's what you've been saying all morning.
It'll be something.
How about we start with your student experience?
Sure.
Yeah, when was that?
Almost before you were born, Jason. So thanks. I started in 2001 as a student on an FLL team in my middle school. And that was because my mom's coworker had been the volunteer coordinator for the Connecticut Regional at the time, which back then was actually the New England Regional because there were that few events. And so she had my mom take me to my first regional in 2000. Then I went again in 2001. That was also the year that I started FLL. So that's kind of how I got my start in FIRST. I was on Team 173 Rage out of Connecticut from 2001-2002 school year through 2005. Then I graduated and yeah, I started volunteering in 2003. So yeah, this is my 24th season as a volunteer.
So
Yeah.
So what made you stick to volunteering? Like,
Wait. FLL?
What?
You're an FLL?
I was in FLL. FLL started in 1998.
When
That's crazy.
did you go to FRC?
2001, 2002.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
FTC didn't start until later.
Right, I know
Yeah,
that.
FTC
Yeah.
didn't start
FTC.
until 2005.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, everywhere except for FEM, FTC is mostly high school. FEM is unique in that it's required to be the middle school program. So FLL is middle school in most other places, except Europe where it goes to like 16. So yeah, it's always interesting to see the 16-year-olds compete against like 12-year-olds at Worlds. There's quite a difference there. So, but it is what it is. So,
How many events did they have in 2001, 2002? Or even not even just like total, but like how many did your team go to that year?
Okay,
Just
so
one.
yeah, so my team went to the New England Regional where we came in second place. We went to the Long Island Regional where we won, and that qualified us to go to Worlds in EPCOT in 2002. So, and then we won Worlds in 2002. So, yeah.
How was EPCOT? Please tell us more about EPCOT.
EPCOT was interesting because it's air-conditioned tents that they would set up in the handicap parking lot at EPCOT.
Okay.
And so it was all on AstroTurf. The pits were that year actually raised up on like kind of like the fieldhouse flooring at MSC. It was that everywhere for the pit. Oh yeah, no, but that's because the pit's flooded.
flooded?
Like because Florida rain every day, the pits would flood because it was a parking lot, so there was nothing to absorb, and it was just a covered tent, an air-conditioned tent, and so the pits would flood. So they had to have them raised up a couple of inches so that to prevent the flooding, especially with all the electrical. So that was fun. And then there were 3 fields in the field tent. And then there was a pit tent that had like air conditioned walkways between. And so the field tent had 3 fields all lined up, similar to how they are at Worlds now. And then the 4th field was Einstein. And that was a huge amphitheater. And there's pictures on Delphi of it, so you can kind of see what it looked like. But that 4th field being Einstein, everyone rotated through and everyone got to play on that field at some point, which was really a cool experience to be able to like say that you got to play on that, on the amphitheater field.
Was the amphitheater inside the park, inside Epcot, or everything was in the parking lot?
Everything was in the parking lot. But as part of going, you got to go to the after party, which now they have on Discovery Green, but there it was in Epcot. So like they closed down. Yeah, they closed down Epcot early that day.
Oh, cool.
And like the teams got to go and just invade Epcot for the night.
That's cool.
So that was actually really cool.
I don't know, man. Epcot, Discovery Green. It's hard to say. It's hard to say.
Yeah, but
How many teams do you think were there?
that year, I want to say it was about 150, 200 teams. I think it was 200.
Now we're at 600.
Yeah, yeah, and it's wild to have seen the growth because like back then, 200 teams was half, maybe a third of the total teams in the world.
Yeah.
So like now it's such a tiny percentage compared to then when it was like half the teams got to go every year. Like as part of your budgeting on the team, you budgeted to go to Worlds, right? Like that was just an almost not really a guarantee, but like if you were a halfway decent team year to year, you accounted for it so that you could go if you got in. But it was also multiple weeks later. So like planning your trip was less expensive and planning for everything was less expensive. Cause like there were 4 or 5 weeks of regionals and that was it. And then Epcot or Worlds was like 2-3 weeks later every year. It was usually at the end of April. But it was like 3 weeks later. So it was nice to be able to have time to fundraise a little bit if you needed to and plan and like get flights, get hotels, get buses, do whatever you needed to do. So
Do you think it's more quantity over quality now?
that yes and no. I feel like First has done a lot in more recent years to make it a higher quality than quantity. In previous years when there were a lot of teams that would just qualify, right? I would say I would have been more inclined to agree with you about that it was more quantity over quality. And don't get me wrong, it definitely is a good experience for a student to be able to go, right? Like Worlds is game changing. Like to be able to say you qualified for Worlds is a game changing experience, especially for a team that doesn't have the resources, right?
Yeah, especially when you got to play in like a football stadium.
Yeah. But I mean, even at Houston, right? Like to still go and meet teams from all over the world. Like I have friends from literally all parts of the world at this point.
Down Under will do that.
But it's not just like Australia teams, right? Like Israel first started in the program in like 2003. 2004, somewhere around there, right? And so being able to meet all these people from all over the world, and like the COVID shutdown years were hard on a lot of us that have gone so many times as volunteers or working for companies or with teams, right? Because like Worlds is a family reunion of sorts for me, right? So like in that regard, not being able to see those people that you see year over year, and that's the only place you get to see them in person, it's hard. But like I've made lasting friendships at Worlds that I never would have made had I not been able to go. So while I do think the quantity over quality thing is it's a detriment, but it's also a benefit, right? Because it's how you keep the kids engaged. It's how you keep them wanting to come back, because it's such a cool experience to get to go to. And I know a lot of teams have, for whatever reasons, stopped wanting to go to Worlds as much, right? And more power to those teams. But at the same point, at least let your students go every once in a while, right? Like, because it is a very unique experience for them. So
Totally agree. Yeah, not an every year thing. You go every year, that's cool. Yeah, but
Especially
like
with the costs and everything.
yeah, for some teams like us, it's an every once in a while.
yeah.
thing.
And like 35-38, the team that I mentor now, we plan to go every year because typically that's how our seasons progress. And Michigan sending so many teams, you tend to be able to gauge that. So you plan to go, right?
Yeah.
Why
do you think Michigan can't win Worlds?
They suck now.
I'm not touching that one with a 10-foot ball. No, I honestly, it's an interesting question though, because like Michigan does have really strong, really powerful teams
In any capacity, impact or robot.
Michigan wins impact.
When was the
Only
last
when
time
there's
Michigan
two
won Impact?
winners. Anyways,
2 world champs.
Yeah. So, but like that's the thing. Don't get me started on 2 champs. Yep. But like no, I think Michigan has the capacity to win. It's just there are a lot of strong teams down there, and it's a matter of how you play the game, right? Like Michigan develops its own style of gameplay. California has its own style of gameplay. New England used to be known for their defensive play, right? Like it was known as New England D. That was the thing for 15, 20 years.
Interesting.
Right? Like
There's just not as much swag now.
What do you mean?
define swag.
Like you said,
swagger or
like you said, New England D, and I'm thinking
giveaways, 'cause,
wow, that's sick. Just come from a region and just have people expect to just like see a certain kind of play from you. That's crazy. That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's swag.
I would say that started changing around 2006, 2007 when bumpers started being mandatory. Not gonna lie, right? Like when bumpers became mandatory, the defense level dropped because there was only so much you could do, right? And
I'd
so
say
like,
hit harder.
Look at the motors available now, and teams are hitting harder. There's a reason first put a 2-motor limit or a 1-motor limit on a propulsion, right? Like you're only allowed the 4 motors for propulsion, be it tank drive, 2 on each side, or swerve, 1 for each pod, because it was destroying the fields, but also destroying robots, even with bumpers. It's why they had the bumper committee. It's why they made the new bumper rules, right? Like it's a thing.
The robot construction rules have really changed.
Yeah. So how do you see that change from then till now? Like what's really been like the biggest like change that's been evolving over time?
The COTS revolution.
COTS.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, tell us about that.
So when I started in
$5.99 ring any bells to you?
$5.99.
$5.99.
Like double.
What is that?
Oh, the $5.99, like
$599.
$5.99. Huh?
Not familiar?
What are you talking about?
All right, what's up? So it's your ideal world's location.
Hold
You
up.
keep changing the topic
hold
so fast,
Yeah.
Jason. What are you talking about?
Sorry.
$5.99.
What were we talking about?
What are you talking
What
about?
are we talking about?
COTS revolution.
Yeah. Let's stay on that one, buddy.
Oh yeah, COTS Revolution. Tell us about that.
So back in my day, right? Like I'll pull the back in my day out on this one. You literally could only buy things from the small parts catalog, or a few other like select things, right? Like there weren't gearboxes available for sale for FRC. There weren't pre-made kit chassis. There weren't swerve pods.
The first kit chassis came out in 2005.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, okay, fine. Like I'll give you that one, but like
No, I'm just saying, like, even that just feels.
yeah, Andymark
like it
didn't
took a while.
start until 2004, 2005, right? Like my team was one of the first customers to buy AM shifters.
Wait, 2004, 2005?
Huh?
You were like
Sorry, continue.
4 or 5 that year.
Yeah.
2004, 2005.
So confused.
Oh, 445.
Jason, did you take your medicines yet?
You didn't.
Okay.
Keep going, John.
So like my freshman year, 2002, our drivetrain was powered by DeWalt gearboxes, shifting gearboxes.
See, I think that's cool as hell.
And a DeWalt drill motor. Like,
think that's
that
cool as
is
hell.
what powered the robots then. But that's what a 775 motor is a
Yeah,
DeWalt drill motor.
a drill
That's
motor.
where
That's
that came
sweet.
from. The 550 was the Fisher-Price gearbox motor. And so like a lot of these things came from other places and just got better over time as COTS became a thing.
That's the thing. It's like I think it's cool how like, you know, there's become such there's specialized and I don't know if proprietary is the right word, equipment for just this competition. But I feel like it did lose the swag when you're just like, yeah, I got washing machine motor, the wall drill,
I think
some
but-
random shit I found over here.
Well, so that's the thing though, is that you couldn't use that random thing you found, right? You could only use the motors that were provided in the kit of parts, which were the drill motor,
Oh,
the Fisher-Price
cool.
motor.
Well, I
Like-
still get what he's saying. Like, I think it was super cool. Me as a student, seeing like 254 machining their own gearboxes and their own wheels and
also,
stuff.
I think that's cool because
you
it's
do
like
still see that in some places.
do, yeah.
though,
Yeah.
right?
Not as
Like,
much.
but it's like right now, like now it just feels more like they're building with Legos
Yeah.
because it's just like it's very like
Plug and play.
it's just very plug and play with everything. Whereas before, like you really had to do everything.
Yeah.
You were given like a DeWalt drum motor and like, okay, figure it out.
Which
Yeah.
not that we're complaining about. Like, there's pros and cons to that too.
Oh,
And
100%.
it's just different. Yeah.
But I would also argue by having more things accessible to more teams,
Yeah.
you're making it so that a team doesn't have a terrible season because they don't know how to do that, because they don't have the mentors
Or the resources
to be able to
yeah.
help do that, right?
Yeah.
Like back when I started, it was at the tail end of having teams that were like heavily involved with their sponsors. Like in 92, Dean founded the whole thing based on, okay, this is going to be the Delphi team. This is going to be the United Technologies team. This is going to be the GM team, right?
Gosh.
Like, but that's the thing, is that those teams were company teams. They weren't school district teams, right? And so the companies donated the mentors time and stuff, right, to go and do these things with this team. Now you have English teachers doing robotics,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And so you don't have the professional mentorship coming in from the engineering companies nearly as much. And you see this a lot in inner city schools too, right? Especially where they don't necessarily have the engineering inside the city anymore because these plants are massive outside cities, right? So the engineering teams aren't within the cities. They can't go at 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon when these school teams meet because these kids don't have a way to get home after or get back to school at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock at night, right? And so,
Unless you're on 818.
but like my bigger thing here though is like by having the COTS parts available, you're making the program more accessible to more students, and that student could be the next like tech guru or the next.
I mean, that's why there's a million Lego teams, right?
yeah.
It's more accessible.
It is, and that's why FTC has grown so much too. So
with your experience at Andymark and CTRE, how do they try to get ahead of the curve and look for those next in-demand products like the kit chassis and what's coming down the pipeline?
What does everything
Obviously,
cost?
you guys-
$599.
Obviously, you guys have a bunch of
why does what cost $599?
experience like that. Yeah.
Wow. Why does what cost $599?
Oh, sorry. I don't know.
You keep bringing this up, and now I'm very
Worry about
confused.
Don't worry about
Talk
it.
about it,
Seth.
Jason. Come on,
Mumbles
don't be-
McGee
don't
over
be
here.
So, Andymark.
so-
What is Andymark?
So
I think we're more curious on your
Who did
experience.
Who did Andymark?
So Andymark was one of the original COTS providers for FIRST. It was founded by Andy Baker and Mark Kors, hence Andy Mark. And so the two
They're
of
still
them,
friends?
Mark Kors
Mark's
unfortunately passed
gone.
away in 2020, I believe, if I remember correctly. 2020, 2021, somewhere in there, for my LS.
Okay.
So yeah, it was.
It doesn't
it
make
was
better,
rough.
right?
And so
Your ice bucket challenge, guys.
what's that?
Ah.
That's the ice bucket challenge one, right? For
Oh
ALS.
yeah,
For
yeah,
ALS,
yeah. Yep. But so Andymark was founded. They were both mentors on Team 45, the Technocats in Kokomo, Indiana. They both were Delphi engineers at the time, and so they started the company to create shifting gearboxes for teams that couldn't produce their own, right? Because it wasn't an easy technology to make. And a couple of different wheels and gearboxes, right? So there was a planetary, there was a Omni wheel, and the AM shifter were the first 3 products. And so they basically kind of proliferated the COTS market for first by creating this company. And then
OGs.
yeah, and then I mean the companies still exist. They do first choice. They do all the stuff for first choice for FRC teams. They do the field for FTC. So they still do a ton of stuff. Have a bunch of new products every year and things like that. And then Cross the Road was founded in 2006 by Mike Copioli and Omar Zreen, 2 Michigan mentors.
That's what that Omar.
Yeah,
That
That
Omar.
Omar.
That Omar made CTRE.
That
yeah,
Omar, yes.
That Omar is CTRE Omar.
Yup.
That's
Omar, if
crazy.
you're watching, we're here too for you.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
What team was Omar on?
217, the Thunder Chickens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hence all of the original
I-
CTRE products.
dog.
You just got. So
Hence why it's Cross the Road.
I knew about
That's
Because
sick.
why did the chicken cross the road?
Bro, SGS has nothing on that. Holy Jack in the box. Dog, they're so much cooler than you, dog. Okay.
now all their part numbers gonna start in 2910. I knew about the Thunder Chicken relationship through the Copiolas. I didn't know
Yep.
Omar was also on Thunder Chickens.
Yeah, so Omar was a
Mark
student.
and Paul are brothers. Mark is
Mike.
with Biting.
Mike.
Was with Mike. Sorry.
Mike.
Mike was with Biting Bulldogs, and Paul was with Thunder Chickens at the time.
Yep.
He's now with.
Yeah,
33
and
times.
Mike also got started on 217.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
Thunder Chickens had a lot of swag.
yeah, I mean,
I'm bringing that up a lot.
They
They did. I mean,
They're like-
they still do.
the
So
Vex
up,
Pro
and then they had
products
a
were
dip, and
all
then-
217 dash because of 217.
yeah.
So,
Nice.
We love Thunder Chickens. Classic Michigan team.
so yeah, now Across the Road does a lot of the control system and electronics and stuff like that for
Battery
first.
beak that requires you to enter a splash screen or getting your percentage.
So part of the reason for the splash screen is because there are menu options that you can access by long holding on the splash screen so that you can change your battery beak chemistry so that you can test FTC batteries and other batteries with it.
I did not know that.
Yep.
That's
so
cool.
that is why the splash screen exists.
Is it? Because it takes
Egg on
like,
your
it
face.
takes me an extra couple seconds to get to the
So you press it right in the splash screen.
And
You
then you immediately
long press
the button again.
long press it instead of doing a short press to test. The long press gets you into the menu action.
Do we have
options.
one here? I want to try it.
Can
now.
you make me a FRC specific one that doesn't have the splash screen?
No.
Omar?
Oh,
Omar,
no.
I just learned how cool you were, Omar.
What do you do
Hit
at
me up.
CTRE?
So I'm the manufacturing manager at CTR.
Oh, come on!
That's not product development. It's manufacturing, Jason.
It's not
different.
software.
I don't know the
Jason.
difference.
It's not firmware. I don't do the firmware, Jason. But so my job is because we're such a small company. There's only like 13 employees.
Oh, shit, really?
Yeah, we're tiny.
Crazy.
Yeah, Andymark's only at like 30 or 40.
Do you contract out
Yeah.
to develop stuff then? Or is
Nope.
it just all? Holy shit.
Yep,
You
it
guys
is
all-
in-house. So
That's
Including all the
insane.
manufacturing as well.
90, I would say 90% of our manufacturing. So all of our boards are made in house, which is obviously the primary bread and butter of our components. Our housings and things like that, we don't injection mold in house.
Okay.
Yeah.
And some of the other products we don't, but for the most part, yeah. Sorry.
That's cool.
For the most part,
Wow.
for the
That's
most
why
part,
it's
our
just always
products are made in
backward.
house. What do you mean? What?
Jason, you can calm
Anyways,
down.
Yeah.
Krakens are in stock. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't have any. I never buy.
Okay,
I don't.
So
Let's pivot. Let's talk. Chris, go to the next one.
So let's pivot. So I know this topic is near and dear to your heart. Starting
Rainbow
with
colored heart.
Ideal Rose location. No, sorry. Continue.
There's a lot of shit that needs to be cut out. I'm just saying, telling you that right now.
Do not cut this out.
Starting Rainbow Rumble, right?
Yeah.
This is basically your child here. This is where you grew this thing to what it is today, to a very impactful yet influential.
Should we start with the Rainbow
space.
STEM Alliance first? Because did that come first before
It
Rainbow
did.
Rumble?
Did it?
Okay.
Oh.
Do you want
Yeah.
to start with that?
Sure. So back when I was at Andymark, one of my students that worked for me at the time was one of the original admins for the LGBTQ first student group, right?
Okay.
He came to me with this idea to create a button because pins and buttons are huge in first, right? Came to me with the idea to do a button to hand out for teams at events and stuff like that, right? I'm like, I'll do you one better. Let's do a lapel pin, because if you look at volunteer lanyards, a lot of them have lapel pins that they keep from event to event. And a lapel pin just looks nicer and higher quality and kept from year to year, right? And so we started, I started a GoFundMe way back in 2016 for these lapel pins, which then that progressed for a couple of years as just a GoFundMe. I would go get the money, distribute the pins, all of that, right? A friend of mine from Pennsylvania was like, hey, you should do a nonprofit for this so that it's not all funneling through your own personal bank account and stuff and everything's on the up and up, right? And I'm like, okay, makes sense. Let's go. But since you're the one that suggested this, you now have to help me form this nonprofit, right? Because nonprofits have board requirements of like 3 members minimum and all the rest of it, right? And so we got another friend of mine from Indiana on board. And so the 3 of us co-founded the Rainbow STEM Alliance, which is in existence to support LGBTQ students in STEM, not just first, but across STEM platforms for K through 12 kids, right? And so through my work with that, we've distributed probably close to 50,000, 60,000 LGBTQ first pins at this point. I want to say somewhere around $10,000 to $15,000 worth of scholarship funds. So it's been a labor of love, but I was the president from 2018 to 2024 because we purposefully put term limits on our board so that we didn't have stagnation and that there was always growth, right? And it also gave me an out because I knew I'd be stuck forever if I didn't. So it was just one of those, this makes sense. I've seen boards stagnate. I've seen programs stagnate, and I didn't want that to happen with the RSI.
Burnout's real.
It is. And it was getting to the point after the 6 years where I was starting to burn out because there was so much going on with all the political stuff with First in Houston and everything else, where it's just like, I need a break. My mental health was not in a great place. So it was definitely a good thing that we had installed those term limits to begin with. But from the RSA, and not even from the RSA per se, but I came up to Kettering 2 in 2022 to visit my good friend Margie, who at that point had just gotten her cancer diagnosis, that her cancer had come back. And I'm like, okay, I want to see you. What event are you going to be at? She said Kettering 2. I'm like, I am there. At that point, I still worked at Andymark, so I was able to travel with the company to do different events across the world, basically.
Nice.
And so I was able to come up, do that event. And it was the first event that I had been to where there were a large number of openly queer volunteers there. And so it was interesting. And I'm like, this is neat. Like, this is cool. This is great. How do we do this more and to make students feel more comfortable with it, right? And from there, the Rainbow Rumble kind of got its origins. So that's the origin story of Rainbow Rumble, was Kettering 2 and Margie's cancer. Believe it or not, Margie's cancer caused Rainbow Rumble.
Just like C3.
Yeah. And so, yeah, if we could stop having cancer-causing off-season events, that'd be great. But no, it was one of those things where it was just like, this is a really cool experience. And my original pie in the sky idea I had thrown out on my Facebook, right? Because I have friends from all over the place that are in first and everything else. And my original idea was like to get $250,000 in funding for it and like fly teams in from all over if they wanted to come attend and like pay drag queens to come be the referee crew and like, oh, it was as over the top as you could get, right? Like I wanted a $500,000 $1 million budget kind of stuff, right? But it was kind of this is what I want. What can we do and how can we get there?
This is all from donations and obviously getting the lapel pins and stuff that you're working with.
Yeah. So Rainbow, it would have been, I would have like that original incarnation in my brain. It would have been getting corporate funding, things like that. Okay. Right. Like the RSA doesn't get money or as much money from the lapel pins and stuff. They are for sale through Andymark, but like, that's
on them right now.
Yeah. So Andymark sells the lapel pins, the LGBTQ first ones, as well as the
the pronoun ones.
The pronoun pins.
Now. Yeah, you're right. Cool.
And so that was while I was still at Andymark. We had started that, and I started the agreement with Andy to do that as a fundraiser.
That's cool.
And so part of their budget is from pin sales, but it's a small portion, right? So Rainbow definitely would have been its own thing. Like the RSA budget annually is like 10 grand or so, if I remember, like from when I was there. Mm-hmm. So their budget's tiny, definitely not enough to support Rainbow, or at least the idea that I had for it at the time. But then I got introduced to the Shoemakers, who are in charge of the Mason District event here in FEM, and they had wanted to start an off-season out there. So through that introduction, we formed the original planning committee for Rainbow Rumble. And so, yeah, Rainbow now, I think the first year, Ian, do you remember how many teams we had the first year? It was like 16. Yeah, it was 15, 16 teams. It was tiny, right? Like we couldn't get teams to sign up. Yeah, it was 2022. So I went from idea in March to event in July.
Yeah.
That's a short turnaround.
Yeah. I work fast. I mean, someone says, "Hey, let's do something." I'm like, "Okay, how do we do it that quickly?" Right?
16 teams in 2022, and now you're up to. It's gotta be 40
capped
plus.
it 40 this year.
Yeah, full event.
Yeah.
Full district event.
Yeah.
Is it because of like logistics and the spacing?
Space and logistics. When we had it at Troy last year, we had 42 to 48 teams. I forget exactly what the number was.
48 teams.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was larger than a district. I think it was 48 teams.
That's nuts.
Or 47 teams, 48 robots, something like that. But 48 for all intents and purposes, right? And it lost a lot in my mind. Like the feel just wasn't the same. It wasn't the small, like friendly event. There were a lot of teams that were gunning for the banners and things like that because we have banners. We have rainbow banners, right? And so it was just one of those, this isn't Rainbow. This isn't what we want. Like, so we brought the team number back. It went back to Mason this past year. And so just little things like that where it's like, how do we make this a great event instead of a good event, right?
I appreciate that a lot. It's not about the size. It's about the quality and just putting on an
impact for the
good
teams
show and
and
everybody being fun and stuff.
And,
Shut up.
And so, but that's exactly it, right? Like we're there for the students. The planning committee recognizes that we're there for the kids. It's our event, but it's not, right? Like how can we make
for the kids?
Yeah. How can we make this event back for the kids? How can we make it good for the students? How can we make it so that the students feel open and welcome and accepted? And that's why the first year we refused to do a stream, a webcast, which in 2022 was unheard of. Like an event actively choosing not to webcast, not that they couldn't, but they chose not to.
Yeah.
But we were concerned about student safety. right? We wanted kids to be able to come, and if they were trans, present as they wanted to present, right? And so that's always been one of our biggest things. That's why we have a media policy that says unless they have the like specific button or lanyard on, you're not allowed to post a picture if you can identify this student, right? And that's why our stream, the edges are all blurred out around the field. It's why it cuts before we let students onto the field, because we want this to be a safe event for these students to feel accepted and welcomed at. And we don't want them to be worried about being outed to an unaccepting family or potential for danger or things like that, because for queer kids, that's still a concern. That's still something that exists. There are still LGBTQ students who are actively kicked out of their housing. Like their parents kick them out of their house at 13, 14, 15 years old because they're queer. Mm-hmm. And so we want to make sure that our event does not have that be the cause, right? And then obviously we also want it to be a really fun event, and we want the show, and we want like to pull volunteers from all over the place, and we do, right? Like we have volunteers coming in from New England, from Canada, from Texas, like literally all over the globe. People are coming in to our event in Michigan, which is not really a thing that happens that much in Michigan either, because Michigan is very closed off, right? As the district, is one of the first districts, especially.
Yep. That's really cool.
So how does so for this event, how does like recruiting work for like, especially like out of state folks?
For volunteers?
Volunteers.
Oh, we don't recruit.
You don't
We do not need to recruit a single volunteer for our event. We post on our Chief Delphi post yearly that, hey, volunteer registration is open, and it usually fills within a week. We're one of the few events in the world that can fill volunteers that quickly, and I am super grateful to our community for being that way, right? Because that's unheard of. Like, talk to any VC at an event, and they're always looking for more volunteers. Unfortunately, at Rainbow, we typically have to turn volunteers away. And it sucks because, like, we want to get more people involved and stuff. And that's part of why we've looked at doing Rainbow events in other places, too. So yeah, for us, we literally post a link, and it fills within, like, a week.
That's a good problem to have, too.
It's a great problem to have. And
that means there's a lot of people care,
yeah,
that they just want to be involved and to be part of that that experience.
Yeah, and it also helps that like a lot of our key volunteers we have cool shirts for. So like the referees have a rainbow and black stripe ref shirt, and they get to keep them. Right. So like we don't take the shirts back. We let them keep them so that they can use them from year to year if they come back, or they can go and use them at other events if the event allows it.
The FTAA shirt's really popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the FTAA shirt, the FTA shirt, we now have a head ref polo. So
Yep.
Nice.
That's cool. Jason, you want to talk about video replay?
Yeah. Let's talk video
Sure.
replay.
I'm glad you're doing it. Pioneering this wonderful thing that should exist. Talk about it.
Yeah. So we started video review the second year because we had a stream and we could, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, isn't that crazy? They had a stream and they could.
So, well, hear me out.
Okay.
Because there's a lot that's going on with us, and I've had conversations about it with
Okay.
people, like key people,
Okay.
to as to why it doesn't
Okay.
exist. So with video review, we at Rainbow have actively said it's only during playoffs, right?
Okay.
We have a whole
Valid.
list of requirements.
Valid.
Only during playoffs, once per alliance,
Valid.
only a match affecting call,
Valid.
and automatic for if it is a red card or a yellow card that's called by a referee. It automatically goes into review.
Match affecting, meaning it could change the outcome of the match.
Correct.
Gotcha.
So
Okay. And there's
Like,
no
Well,
ranking
extremely
point in
valid.
playoffs, so that doesn't matter.
right. And so this year we added the match affecting bit because there were teams that were complaining throughout the season about. Oh, Cool. Conveniently, Ian has one of our rainbow ref shirts.
That's sick. Yeah, look at that.
And so this is, I think, one of the first year ones. This is one of the ones
Cut to
that we
the
had
other
the first year. And so we got these custom made, and we get them custom made every year for our crew.
That's awesome, yeah.
And so it's one of those things where it's just a cool thing that we can have as volunteers giving away, right? And so, but for video review, we this year we added the match affecting clause because teams were like, oh, well, we had a piece of coral on that pipe and it wasn't counted, and it would have swung the match. So this way it allowed us to review that portion. And we do it so that it's only off the stream, right? That's one of the other caveats, is that it's only off the stream camera. So a team can't present us with a picture. They can't present us with a
that's all
video,
fun stuff.
right?
Like forgery, potentially.
It's not even that, right?
AI.
It's just we want,
You know what?
Here's my robot scoring the coral.
it's
Honestly,
not, it's not
if they
bad
can
in
do
the
that in
slightest.
that time,
Yeah.
go for it.
No, but for us, it's we want the unified frame of
Yeah.
reference.
You want it to be
so that
official.
everyone has access to the same material.
So how do you? So the videos go onto YouTube,
Yep.
and then you just pull it up on whatever laptop you got down on the scoring table and just watch that video.
Yep. And so we stream through the Fun Robotics Network.
Yeah.
And then we also save it locally, so that we can go back and scrub faster locally than trying to wait for it to upload and then pull it back down, right?
Is it just the head ref or all refs or?
It depends on the situation.
Okay.
We have it written in the rules so that I am the primary, or the head ref is the primary, because this year I actually didn't head ref our event.
No FTAs.
It depends. Again, it depends. It is very, if the head referee chooses to pull anyone else in, they can.
Okay.
As needed.
So
Need to know.
Yeah.
Field reset.
So like if they're, well, honestly, it could be a field soup, right?
Yeah.
If the field soup's like, yeah, no,
Mom, come on down.
we messed up setting that that
somebody-
algae in the wrong spot,
Right,
then
the
yeah,
game piece left the
like,
field
okay,
and, yeah,
cool,
who knows?
we're good, right? Like we can pull in, we intentionally have it so that we can pull in other key people to have these conversations.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, but one year, I think the first year we used it, we actually did pull the card one, like the automatic review for a card call.
Okay.
And if I remember right, the ruling on the field stood because like the video review showed that it could. But we also have it where the ruling on the field will stand if the head referee can't determine otherwise.
Yeah.
Right. So it's similar
Indisputable
to
video evidence.
exactly.
It needs to prove that it didn't happen.
Right. You need to be able to prove that either it did or did not happen based on the video, or the ruling on the field will stand, because the referee sometimes does have a better frame of reference than a video does.
Oh, yeah.
Case in point, 2016 Finals 3 Parameridian. I was standing in front of where the interaction happened. I had to call a red card on a team for damaging contact inside a frame perimeter, damaging and disabling contact. And it determined the outcome of the match, right? So the red card in a Finals 3 determined who the winner was.
Yeah.
I was in front of where the camera was pointing, and the interaction happened in front of me.
Yeah. So you can see it.
The camera couldn't really see as much of the interaction. So it was one of those situations where in that case it would have defaulted to my ruling. But in 2023, we there was an event that I had refed where one of the refs called for a card, and it was a red card, and it was in playoffs. And they thought they had seen a team interact with another team where it was internal to the robot, disabling contact, red card, right? Mm-hmm. If you go back and watch the video, it was bumper to bumper hit.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I'm not
no
reacting to the same thing, but I know what that feels like.
Yeah. And it sucks. And like that referee felt terrible when they went back and watched it. I felt terrible as the head referee when I went back and watched it. Both sides of the teams were arguing that wasn't the case, right? But we had no recourse for it.
Yeah.
Like there's no way to resolve that in the way the rules are written. And
That sucks.
it does. And
That
everyone feels bad.
sucks.
Everyone feels terrible about that kind of situation, right? There isn't a single person that I know that is a volunteer for First that would feel okay knowing that details, right? And that's why we started video review.
And that's had a positive effect.
Yeah, and that's why it's a automatic if there's a card call.
Yeah.
So what's the reservation?
So the biggest thing from what I've heard from First volunteers and other people that would be involved with these kinds of conversations, right, is that there isn't a way to make it standardized across the entire program. And so that is where the reservation comes in from what I have heard. The other concern is it causing undue delays, right? Because you get teams that go and stand in the question box for 6 matches in a row, arguing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Well, you put in those requirements.
Right. And that's why we have a very tight rule set regarding our video review. That's why we don't do video review in quals. That's why it's only during playoffs where it matters the most. And honestly, I've had those conversations with teams that have lasted longer than a video review would have.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Right? Like a video review takes 15, 30 seconds, especially if they can tell you approximate time frame of the match that it occurred.
That's what I'm saying. It's just one and done.
Yep. And so I am a huge proponent of it. I have had conversations with key players about trying to implement it.
We should start getting more off seasons.
A lot more off seasons too, right? Like we were not the first. Rainbow was not the first. And I know we're not going to be the last, right? Yeah. Like some of our roles were taken from Tri, taken from Chessie, right? Like these are the places that these things have happened. And so we adapted it for Rainbow. But for the most part, like you are seeing more and more off seasons do this. And off seasons are the place that First tends to try new things. If it's a trusted off season,
selection,
right? The alliance selection, cards originally were done at IRL, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah, more adult involvement, great.
Okay, UNETs, C3. Kettering kickoff. Like, all you guys got to do video replay now.
So and I talked to the folks at UNETs this year because I was their head ref.
Let's go, Michael.
I was their head ref, right? Like as much as I wasn't thrilled about being a head ref for an all girls event because I am not a woman. They needed someone because their head refs both had to back out for things that came up in their lives, right? Like things happen. But it would have made a 20-minute long conversation take 30 seconds and the event would have ended that much faster. So it's something that I've talked with them about potentially doing in the future. So I hope that they implement it the same.
Progress right here on Pit Podcast.
And so, but like the more off seasons that do it, the more I think you'll see First say, okay, this is feasible, especially if you limit the scope. Right. I think one of the big drawbacks currently is there is no standard for where camera placements are. And I think if they could standardize a camera placement, because that could be a part of a compliance check that an FTA does in the morning, right? Is the camera in the correct location? Is the camera set to the right height? Is the field of view the correct field of view, right? Like it needs to be within this to this kind of thing, right?
Scoring table edition.
Yeah. And so these are all things that can be scoped to allow for it in the future. And I hope that First realizes that this is feasible, especially with the technology that we have these days where you can go back and immediately review in 4K a video.
Literally caught 4K.
Like, see my bald spot in 4K.
And there's, but like there's places and ways that they could even build a GoPro mount into the field.
Oh,
right?
I love those mounts.
Like
I love those views. They're so cool.
You see a lot of those views in districts, not at regionals.
Really?
Yeah.
Not at regionals.
Because it's not part of the standard setup.
Oh.
And First sends a webcast unit to the regionals.
Regionals are so like production heavy.
regionals
Production heavy.
And I mean, you do see them in some regionals. Don't get me wrong, but like it is a very
So-
event specific thing.
If there's already that discrepancy between districts and regionals, but then they tell us they don't want to standardize video replay because they don't want video replay because it's not standard. Then
Which is it?
Well, and that's why
Okay.
they don't want it, because it's not standard, and it's not standardized
regional
between
districts aren't
regionals and
standard,
districts. Exactly.
according to what you're saying.
No,
Yeah, that's a
that's
rule
exactly
change.
the point, though, is
Right.
that they're not standard.
Yeah, I've never been to a regional.
Right.
I'll put that out there first. So
But like, because there is no standard for how a webcast or a stream needs to be done, it's not standardized, so they can't review because it's not standard across the events.
Hear me out. Camera, poll,
Yeah.
scoring table.
Camera and poll is honestly the easiest way to do it.
probably, yeah.
And like, you could get a GoPro mount, put it on a pole, put it in a bucket of concrete.
And like, if it's at the
And
scoring
that's-
table, you don't have a bunch of randos bumping into it.
Yeah,
hopefully.
I mean,
Right, yeah,
you have
right.
your head rep bumping into it all the time.
yeah,
Like,
that's true. You know, bacon all that stuff.
I am notorious for taking out cameras behind scoring tables. So that's a thing.
Sorry, you go, Chris.
No, I just want to. I didn't want to.
No, I want to hear you.
Yeah, wait,
I just wanted to pivot a little bit, right, to like events itself, right? So coming from out of like the regional system, now heading into your experience with districts, both specifically for like Indiana and now Michigan.
Yeah.
What's like from what you've seen, right? What's like the biggest difference from a volunteer standpoint of like competitiveness, workload, logistics, etc., from like a regional standpoint, Indiana district to a FIM district?
How's the
standpoint?
food at regionals?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So many things to get into on this.
Food.
Regionals are way more work, way more effort, way more time, way more money. End of story, like bar none. But the production value is typically a lot better than you'll see at a district event. I was in New England when they went districts in 2014, right?
Okay.
So that was my last year in New England. And they hired a production company to do all of their events, similar to a show ready kind of thing, right?
These
So
are
they
guys
had-
getting paid hard money to put this stuff on. That's
Yep.
crazy.
And they can't do video replay.
But like that was over the course of multiple years, though, right? Like, and the production crew was amazing. They were first alum. They weren't price
Okay.
gouging New England or anything else, right?
Sweet.
It's just it was expensive because they would provide the generators, they would provide the video screens, they would provide the staff, they would provide the pipe and drape, everything.
Oh,
Pipe and drape. Huge expense, by the way.
I think we
Insane.
got timeout.
I don't know. It's funnier.
I kind of like it. I kind of like it. All right, so regionals and districts. So this is a very old trophy, right?
Yep.
And they all kind of looked like this back then.
Yeah.
Now they're so
Tiny. They're tiny.
Kid menu size.
Yeah. So this trophy here that's on the table is from 2005. It is a regional winner trophy from the Chesapeake Regional. And
That's the winner trophy.
yeah, that's the winner
a
trophy
regional.
from a regional in 2005.
It is freaking huge.
That's
The world-
bigger than
It's heavy.
So the world winner trophy from 2002 was the same basic size, but had one more addition to the base platform, if I remember correctly,
goodness.
and had gold instead of silver
That's
first
yeah.
logo.
The world champ trophy is smaller than this.
Yeah,
But
the
even-
current
even
world
the dis-
trophy is
the current
actually
one.
smaller.
That's
than this.
crazy.
even back then, 2011, the districts were larger too, right?
Yeah. So I want to say it was like 2014, the district trophy changed when there were more districts introduced. And so I think, if I remember right, the 09 to 14 district trophies were more the size of, at that time, the regional finalist trophies. And then district winner, like for MSC kind of thing, would have been like that size. Wow. And so, yeah, the trophies
Logic
have
cards.
shrunk a lot. They actually used to give out 2 of those per event for a winner. And so they
Wait,
they
2 of
changed
those?
that. Yeah,
Oh, 2 per winner.
2 trophies per
Per
winner.
team.
Per team.
Oh,
One to go to the primary sponsor, one to go to the school or build space or whatever, right?
Oh, okay.
Was that before banners?
No, we
When
had
did-
banners too.
Oh yeah.
When did
Banners started in
banners
like
start?
97, 98, if I
Okay.
remember right.
So is there currently a difference between regional and district trophies?
Yeah, so a district championship is considered
regional
the regional level. And so what you would win at district champs, so MSC, is the size of a regional winning
Okay.
trophy. So yeah, that's why district event trophies are even smaller.
Even the world
but
championship trophy now is
smaller than that.
pales in comparison to this.
Like, yeah, this is
It's sad.
I mean,
it's
so
taller
so-
than one coral right now.
and the medal that's on it is the same size as the current medal still. Like the medal size did not change in diameter from 2000, as far as I know, 2002.
I feel so lucky for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, the medals are thinner now, but they're also a lot cooler. Like
They are cooler.
Like I love the season specific medals.
The 2016 transition was really cool.
Yeah.
I like the era where it still had the logo on
It
it,
just had the holes
but
in
it
it.
had the holes in it.
I think that's neat.
That was right.
See, and
2014,
I hated that
13.
one because that
I
one's when
thought
they
that was-
really cheaped out on the medal. Like
Yeah.
I thought it was
the
kinda
trophy or the medals are like so much thinner so that they could stamp through it.
Yeah.
I thought they
And
were
it's
cool,
like,
but
it
they all
was
looked the
super
same.
cheap.
They were same per year.
Yeah.
Now they're game specific, which is cool.
Yeah, and FTC like had that stamp through style for a long time too. I actually
Yeah.
like the FTC ones from this year, where
They're
it says
okay.
First Tech Challenge and the orange enamel on
enamel,
it.
Oh.
Yeah, they actually look really nice. But one of the, like, so the old ones though also still had the year on it. So like my 2005 medal there has 2005 on it.
Right.
So it at least did increment the years on them. But I personally I like the way the new ones look.
I remember getting a Steamworks one and being like, "This is cool as hell."
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think about the plaques?
Personally, I don't like them, and I know a lot of teams will just stack them up and not display them. And so it's one of those like a plaque doesn't look as cool or as good as a trophy in
Yeah.
a display case.
I don't think it's a replacement. Maybe it's cute.
It was in, from what I remember when it first got introduced, it was intended to replace the second trophy because it was intended to go to like a sponsor,
Oh.
right?
Mhm.
But all of this second thing is from when teams had like one sponsor,
Yeah.
Right.
right? Like I would rather them go back to a trophy that size
Oh yeah.
and get rid of the plaque.
No,
Yeah.
you're right. You're right. I
Because
completely
most
agree.
teams don't give away the plaque or
I
the
completely agree.
spare trophy or
Right.
anything, right?
For us,
So,
it's usually one trophy goes to the school, one trophy goes to the team shop.
yeah.
When we were at our old shop, we had plenty of shelf space that we could put all the trophies and stuff. The trophy that got to the school usually disappeared at some point.
Exactly.
But now that we have the plaques and now that we're in our new shop, we have a place to put those plaques on the outside of our build shop space. And it's right in the middle of the hallway of the school. So I kind of like the plaques now that we have a spot to display them. I kind of like them.
That's fair.
So real quick, just to a quick thing on this topic and to pick your brain a little bit. So there are as many pit crew members that would love to get the opportunity to ref or even one day become a head ref.
Yeah.
From your experience, your opinion, what would make a good ref? And for that one good ref, what's the good path for them that can lead up to a head ref?
Okay.
Let the
So
vibe change.
I will
An hour in.
like I will actively talk to students that come up to the question box frequently and are respectful and know the rules. I will talk to them and I'll be like, hey, you should think about reffing, right? And the big things there is that they're respectful, that they know the rule, and they come up and have a conversation, right? Instead of trying to like yell at me because of a call.
Love when they have the rule number.
Yeah, no,
It's cute.
honestly, like if
helpful.
you are a student on a drive team and you are coming up to the question box, have a printed copy of the manual and know which role you're coming to talk about.
Updated
Because-
printed copy.
Yes.
Updated, yes.
Because I can then look at that printed copy with you and explain how the referees are calling it versus your interpretation of the rule.
Yep.
Right. And I've had students come up and be like, prove me wrong. and I admit it when I'm wrong. Like I'm a head ref where I will say, yes, okay, we screwed this up. I can't go back and change it from like 4 matches ago, right? But we will change how we're doing this moving forward, right? And that's kind of the biggest thing is how you adapt as you go and stuff. But it's being respectful and stuff like that. So if you're a student that is in the question box a lot, you will likely become a good referee, in my opinion. That's how I got my start. I was drive coach and drive team member for my team, my junior and senior year. Senior year, I was in the question box frequently.
Aren't you glad you got that experience as a student?
Yes. That's another whole conversation that we could spend 3 hours on. But I will also say my head referee is currently from back then is currently one of the global head referees now. So Aiden Brown was the head ref that I interacted with the most as a student.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And so I was in his question box often, but I would go up with a manual and be right. And this is how we're calling this, like what's going on. Right. Like, so it's one of those situations.
Anyway, that's our
It's
cue.
a sign.
So yeah. So yeah.
Take us away, Chris.
Thank you for us for
Pit
joining.
Crew, thank you for us for joining. Let's do it together.
Thank you, John, for the
Thank you, John,
gifts.
for the gifts
Oh.
for the 2000 and the
15, I think.
15-ish,
thing.
yeah.
The rainbow. Thank
and
you
for the
this.
sticker.
We're keeping this.
No.
We're
I'm
not
not
keeping
keeping my
that.
trophy.
Thanks for the sticker.
Thank
The
you.
sticker.
Thank you for the
sticker
regional
from
trophy.
2003.
We'll display it
No,
proudly.
you're not keeping my
Yeah.
trophy.
Remember to
You,
like
you
and
get
subscribe.
cool new metal hangers.
No,
up
it's
on
theft.
the
It's,
video.
no, it's theft.
Like,
It's theft. Don't worry.
No,
we know that.
no,
we
you're
are
not
stealing it
stealing
from
my
you.
trophy.
Thank you, Unc, for being on our old man chair. Remember to like and subscribe. Follow us on the Insta. We've got some cool things coming up, so be on the lookout for that. You know, one of these, if you know what I'm flaming on.
Get your merch at shop.pitpodcast.com.
What are you
Powered by
talking
Royal
about?
Very,
Shirts.
very cool shirt.
We've got our new shirt. We've got Pride
Ooh.
shirts still. We've got Chris Table shirt.
What on
That's the
earth?
first I'm seeing
Yeah, get one of these bad boys. Yeah, I'm
Thank you, Pit Crew. We'll see you at the competition.
this.
Let's get
Actually
some
really
lunch,
funny.
guys.
Oh.